Today we're facilitating an information journey, moving while learning, from our roads to over waters that border international areas. But we're taking all Jamaicans with us, including those who can only feel, smell, or hear the beauty, the visually impaired. You'll get to see some of what our government is doing to make traveling and just daily living a breeze for all of us, a breeze that this vicarious experience will not allow you to miss out on. I'm Theodore Henry, your able facilitator, taking you on this journey through Jamaica Magazine. Let's get informed right now.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, July 29. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says some of the COVID-19 containment measures will be extended to September 30. Between August 1 and September 30, the daily curfews will remain from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., and social gatherings should not exceed 20 persons. In addition, persons 75 years and older should stay at home, and market hours will remain from Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
As we seek to extend the measures, we emphasize that we will continue to take a risk-based management approach, which, as I've always said, is evidence-based, proportionate, and situationally appropriate. The objective continues to be the need to reduce the exposure risk of the population to COVID-19, while increasing the capacity of the public health system to respond to cases within the population so as to reduce disease spread.
The Prime Minister was speaking during yesterday's sitting of the House of Representatives. Over 100,000 laptops and tablets are being procured for the island's most vulnerable students in time for the new school year in September. Education Minister Karl Samuda made the announcement on Tuesday as he contributed to the sectoral debates in Parliament. Mr. Samuda says the 77,000 tablets will be provided for students up to grade 9 and 25,000 laptops will be given to students from grades 10 to 13.
These devices will be distributed on a phased basis beginning in late August. Students on the Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH will receive devices.
The ministry has also approved the Bring Your Own Device policy to bolster computer-based learning measures for the reopening of schools. The policy will be sent out to schools during this week and will allow parents to purchase computers based on provided specifications. Students will also have access to the ministry's textbooks and additional content through these devices. The program will complement eLearning Jamaica's Tablets for Teachers program, which will deliver 25,000 devices to educators. In the meantime, Minister Samuda has announced the creation of a new education region. Cabinet gave approval for the Education Ministry to create Region 7, which will only comprise the parish of Clarendon. Approval was granted on March 3, and the region became operational on June 1 this year. Previously, Clarendon was part of Region 6, along with St. Catherine, which combined to have the largest number of schools and students enrolled.
The size and dispersion of the schools in these two parishes made it difficult for staff at the region office to serve their constituents as effectively as they should. It was decided that for efficient and effective delivery of services, we need to establish the 7th region.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says 13 bridges across Portland are to be reconstructed, rehabilitated, or repaired. The 13 are among 42 bridges to be impacted by the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project that is now underway between Harborview in St. Andrew and Port Antonio in Portland. Bridges to be refurbished include Sphinx, Mulatto, Hector's River, White River, Black River, Turtle Crawl, Anchovy, and Otter Bay, East Town, and Priestman Rivers.
The government of Jamaica remains committed to improving infrastructure island-wide to strategically increase connectivity around the island, reduce travel time and wear and tear on our vehicles, and to ensure the connectivity and productivity of our urban centers so that people can move across Jamaica seamlessly.
The Prime Minister was speaking on Friday as he officially opened the newly renovated East Palm Bridge in Port Antonio, Portland. Completed in 4 months, the $24.3 million structure replaces a 70-year-old bridge that had been closed since November 2015. 40,000 fishery stakeholders are set to benefit from a $4.8 million initiative to enhance climate resilience practices in the sector. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, Leslie Campbell, launched the project on Friday.
We recognize the critical and important role being played by the fishing industry in creating a livelihood for fishers throughout the country, and the unlimited potential it possesses to significantly contribute to the development of the national economy.
State Minister Floyd Green says the Promoting Community-Based Climate Resilience in Fisheries project is an important move for the sector's sustainability.
What we have to be are equipped with the tools to adequately respond so that our fisheries sector can survive. The reality is that these communities are built around fishing.
The project will facilitate increased investment and diversification in fisheries-based alternatives and the development of climate-resilient fisheries and aquaculture policies and regulations. And finally, Jamaica is being positioned to become a tourism supply hub that serves the needs of the global industry. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says this will be done in part by developing the capacity of locals to provide stackable credentials that allow for mobility and portable skills so they can access job opportunities outside of the country. Enhancing skills in information and communications technology, ICT, is a big part of the Tourism Human Capital Development Plan. The other phase in the development of the tourism supply hub is to enable small providers to be more efficient in their production and to produce at a higher quality.
80% of tourism worldwide is driven by small and medium enterprises. But the irony of the situation is that only 20% of the returns from tourism go to this particular sector. And this is the kind of ambition that is going to drive the new tourism as we seek to go beyond the rooms. And in building out all of that, our small and medium enterprises are going to be a key partner of it.
Mr. Bartlett was speaking at Thursday's launch of the annual Christmas in July trade show staged virtually this year. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
One of our first stops on this journey is with the JUTC, as it transports with the kept promise of accessibility and safety. Through its review, more and more we're seeing how this dedicated arm of government leads all individuals with a vision, even those without sight. Don't quite get how? Here's a much closer perspective.
From the fingers of political activist Helen Keller came this oft-repeated statement: the worst thing is to be born sighted but lack vision. Among our people are many whose sight is impaired, making it more challenging to navigate the roads of forever changing national space. Over a decade ago, the state-owned bus company had the vision to recognize their need for a public transport system that is accommodating of all Jamaicans.
I lose my sight. It's going from 89, totally blind, 2004. 89 when I check my sight, 5% in the left eye and 95 in the right eye. Everything goes 2004. Well, 2004, I was fretting on it. I hear about Society for the Blind, and Mrs. Wallace will do the training, will train us to take the bus, train us to go to transport center, walk on the road, walk between light posts, walk on the sidewalk. I prefer to take the JUTC. When I take the bus to the transport center, boy, the customer service is very nice. They ask you where you're going and then take you downstairs or upstairs and then put you on a seat to sit down. Sometimes they wait on you till the bus comes and put you inside the bus and tell the driver, where to let you off.
Since 2005, the JUTC began offering a disabled service, and we did so recognizing that there are other forms of transportation service or operators who do not provide a similar service to members of the disabled community. We recognize that they are an important part of the traveling community, and it is in fact incumbent on us, being a government-run entity, to provide such a service for those who may not otherwise be able to access private transportation services. Over the course of that period, we have also imported several units, several specially designed buses for persons with varying degrees of disability. We have a cadre of customer service representatives who have been introduced to a wide range of customer service related responsibilities and functions. In fact, 10 to 12 of them who are rostered weekly to provide critical care to members of the disabled community. Our customer service agents take them to and from the buses, and of course anywhere within the location of the Harper Tree Transport Center. They also provide sanitary support for them.
I lost my sight last year, February. Taking the transport, sometimes I'm feeling excited. Sometimes, not all times. Because taking the transport, I can miss my steps. When crossing the road, sometimes I'm feeling down. Nervous, like, can't wait to get over it. I can cross in the road, anything can hit me. So those things will run in my intention. Yeah, and hole can be there. And even though the kidney will drop in the hole sometime, you can still do wrong things and drop same way. So there's something else come up in my thought at all times. Crossing the road, taking the vehicle. And sometimes tears come at my eyes because the way how the person react, people will see me. Some of them will say, you're not blind. And you act like you're blind because your eyes don't look like you're blind.
Part of the training involves engaging the Disabilities Foundation to see how it is that we ought to care for members of the disabled community. So for example, there is in fact a particular standard and protocol in which persons who are blind, for example, ought to be carried around.
One day I was at the bus stop. I took a bus 46 from downtown, and I asked tell the driver, I said, I'm going at Union Square Drug Serve. And it was a woman driver, and believe you me, when the lady reached Drug Serve, she stopped the bus on the left side there and come out of the driver's seat and take me across the road right to the Drug Serve. I was so pleased, man. You have some nice driver.
The visually impaired individual is firstly someone with basic human rights, those shared by every other Jamaican. And while a disability-friendly transport system may not be on the list of basic human rights, as the JUTC recognizes, it is a critical part of ensuring that Jamaica is truly a place where everyone of every ability can live, work, raise families, and do business.
Where the asphalt ends, we'll probably be meeting something like the sea, but getting over that is pretty much an easy task for us, because for all your international travels, from home is a sophisticated gateway to take you there, the Norman Manley International Airport.
Welcome to the Norman Manley International Airport, your gateway to the Caribbean and the Americas. It's Jamaica's principal business and visiting friends and relatives access point, providing a wide range of services and amenities to meet the needs of the most discerning traveler. The Norman Manley International Airport provides a distinctly Jamaican experience and is a first-class facility characterized by efficiency. Through the departures experience, travelers have access to the fully automated Park and Fly extended parking facility. The Red Cap Porter service, which provides courteous luggage assistance from the curb to the ticketing counter. Spacious, inviting, and modern, the ticketing hall provides services from 13 airlines. And for convenience, the automated self-service easy check-in reduces wait time.
Ladies and gentlemen, if our passengers on flights here from several destinations in Panama City require special assistance, the board now is engaged to go on.
Savor your last moments in capital Kingston by relaxing with family and friends, or with a memorabilia from the photo station. Choice, convenience, comfort. The Departures Lounge provides an all-inclusive package reflecting destination Jamaica. Through the variety of savory and spicy meals, specialty duty-free shops, and the airport art displays, a positive passenger experience is created. Club Kingston provides a secluded relaxation space for both leisure and business. The lounge affords a cultural experience reflecting Jamaican hospitality and luxury. Similar services can be accessed through the Club Kingston VIP Arrivals Lounge. Local and international travelers have the opportunity to acquire, select high-quality goods at exceptional prices through expanded duty-free shopping to either grab that memorabilia that defines a milestone or a gift for that special someone. The passenger pier provides access to immigration and customs services available 24 hours daily. For convenience, a customer service post is on site and automated check-in options. To guarantee minimal delays in the customs procedure, 3 processing options are provided. Nothing to declare, items to declare, and passengers for special consideration, including children, the disabled, and elderly. Travelers can access support services through the hospitality desks located in the transportation hall. Ground transportation, car rental, tour operators, and hotel accommodations can be arranged through this multi-purpose facility. The Arrivals forecourt provides an aesthetically pleasing environment with covered seating, a food court, and bar. It is here that passengers are greeted with a true island experience, a very cool jelly coconut from the Jelly Man. Located on a picturesque peninsula and bordered by the 7th largest natural harbor in the world, the Norman Manley International Airport continues to provide modern air travel conveniences with 14 aircraft gates, which can accommodate the Boeing 747-400, 2 remote stands, and multi-level departures concourse. Based on its strategic location, Norman Manley International Airport is capitalizing on air freight services through its state-of-the-art cargo and logistics center. This allows the airport to contribute to Jamaica's increasing role in the global air cargo trade. Safety and security is priority for the Norman Manley International Airport. The advanced security system for passenger and luggage screening is part of the layered approach adopted to ensure passengers are safely transported to and from their destinations. Effective, safe, and reliable general aviation services are also key to enhancing the traveler's experience and expectations. From arrival to departure, a high level of management systems and processes ensure that the general aviation services provided are equivalent to worldwide standards. For over 70 years, with over 130 international flights per week, the Norman Manley International Airport remains committed to providing travelers with an exceptional Jamaican experience through its world-class transportation hub. One capital, 2 coasts, 1 connection. The Norman Manley International Airport is your Kingston gateway to the world.
Our next stop is a little more extensive. 10 areas of our country where our crime-fighting arms are deployed to fight crime. Learn about the effectiveness of this mechanism next.
Gangs, guns, and dons have been named and understood to be the core of the criminal activity in Jamaica.
With inter- and intra-gang warfare accounting for 80% of the homicides being committed on the island, the government has moved swiftly to address the issue.
A state of public emergency is now in effect for the parish of St. James.
Since that declaration in January 2018, government has used the state of public emergency in 9 other parishes or police divisions. The enhanced security measure spans Westmoreland, Hanover, St. Catherine North and South, Clarendon and St. Andrew South, as well as Kingston Eastern, Western and Central.
We are confident that the security forces will be able to remove from the area the kind of violence producers that are continuing to create serious pressure on the people.
The state of public emergency is just one of the tools in the security forces' arsenal to fight crime and violence on the island. From all indications, it has been effective in lowering the crime rate. A state of public emergency is declared under the Emergency Powers Act of 1938. It gives the Governor-General the ability to proclaim a 14-day period of public emergency in the first instance. Following this, the time may be extended at 3-month intervals by a 2/3 majority of both Houses of Parliament. A state of public emergency may be declared due to the imminence of a state of war, engagement in a war, during times of natural disaster or outbreak of an infectious disease, or a situation which endangers public safety. The declaration also covers special security operations due to rampant criminality, gang warfare, and escalating violence beyond the control of normal policing. Once the special security measure is in place, the security forces are empowered to detain persons for up to 90 days without charge, enter and search premises without a warrant, and take control or possession of property except land, among other powers.
We believe that this is necessary in order to give the security forces the necessary space to carry out the operational tasks that will be required to help to bring a sense of normalcy to the communities affected.
The public generally can assist by contacting Crime Stop or the police directly with information, by complying with the requests of security officers at checkpoints, adhering to curfew guidelines and other guidelines, and certainly by notifying us, the JCF, of any breaches of professional conduct by members.
States of public emergency are now in operation across 10 of the 19 police divisions on the island. Since their imposition, successive police statistics have shown reductions in serious crimes, and the latest figures are no different.
We have managed to maintain an overall 13% reduction in serious crimes over the comparative period last year, 2019, as at the 18th of July, 2020. In fact, Mr. Speaker, for the same period, all serious crimes recorded reductions. We have a 3% reduction in murder, 11% reduction in shootings, 16% reductions in rape, 12% reductions in robberies, and a 24% reduction in break-ins.
When compared with the period prior to the states of emergency, Westmoreland, Hanover, and St. James recorded a 24% reduction in murders and a 25% decline in shootings. The enhanced security measure in that tri-parish area resulted in the arrest and charge of 1,495 persons, as well as the seizure of 177 firearms and over 5,000 rounds of ammunition.
Through the use of this particular tool, this particular measure, we have managed, Mr. Speaker, to cauterize the spread of violence and crime in the terms that we have become accustomed we are flattening the crime curve in Jamaica.
In the St. Catherine and Clarendon SOEs, murders decreased by 22%, while shootings have seen a 25% drop. Charges were laid against 1,560 persons, while 54 firearms and over 1,500 rounds of ammunition were seized.
For the comparative 173 days prior to and during the state of public emergency and to present, the Kingston Eastern Police Division experienced an overall reduction in murders and shootings by 55% and 69%.
Over the St. Andrews South Police Division, which has been under a state of emergency since February 9, 2020, there's been a 4% reduction in murders and 12% in shootings.
Whilst the effect here has not been as we would have expected, it is still having a positive effect on the overall numbers. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, that area has been relatively calm.
54 persons have been charged in the division, while 48 guns and over 600 bullets were recovered. Operations in the Kingston Western and Central Police Divisions, which began on June 14, 2020, have yielded marginal reductions in murders and shootings. The police have apprehended and charged 9 persons while recovering a gun and 13 bullets.
It is clear that the SOEs work, that in all instances we can say without question that lives have been saved.
The states of public emergency can reap even greater results if you play your part. If you see or suspect criminal activity is happening in your community, share what you know with the security forces. Call 311 or 876-837-8888. The information you share could save a life.
So we've been moving around a lot this edition, but if you have more travel plans this year, here is some information that you may need to know. There are more places to visit. That's right, visitors and locals are now authorized to access the southern end of our island, which spans from Milk River in Clarendon to Negril in Westmoreland. This is possible through government opening the second phase of the COVID-19 Resilient Corridor. More flight options. Starting in October, British Airways will operate twice-weekly flights to Montego Bay from London Gatwick, increasing the number of flights from the UK to Jamaica. Less hassle. While tourists coming in are asked to fill out a travel authorization form, those who are low risk as it relates to COVID-19 will not be tested at the airports and can enjoy their trip within the opened tourism corridors. We still want you to be safe and careful because we're not through with COVID-19 just yet. But while you're at it, learn and discover something new about our nation. It is this knowledge that will help you to develop our island to make it the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Of course, your traveling doesn't stop when our magazine closes, because there's more to experience about life and development in our country. So while this is really the last page of today's show, there's a fresh package tomorrow and the luxury to watch past episodes through our YouTube channel. And while you're online, check out the JIS website and follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter pages. From all of us here, stay safe. I'm Theodore Henry. See you soon.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.